As if austerity, rising poverty and joblessness weren't enough, the EU's facing another crisis from its own shadow economy. In Spain alone, up to 30% of business is now hidden from government and tax inspectors. As our Tess Arcilia finds out, across the bloc, it's getting worse.
For millions of Europeans who find themselves stuck between a rock and a hard place in times of austerity, staying in the shadow is increasingly seen as a viable option to making ends meet, far from the taxman and the grip of government. The shadow economy is a blurry area of cash-only economic activity deliberately hidden from authorities, such as undeclared work and wages or underreported business transactions. In fact, the international organization, the OECD, predicts that by 2020, the shadow economy will employ up to 2/3 of the world's workers. Now, if that sounds rather apocalyptic, let's just look at the EU's data for 2012. There's about 1 trillion euros in potential tax revenues lost, and the total budget deficit for the entire bloc amounts to about 514 billion euros. And this shadow economy makes up to 1/5 of the GDP of the bloc. Now, in times of crises, the shadow looms larger. In fact, most of that activity takes place in some of the largest economies in Europe, such as France, Germany, Italy, Spain, and the UK. Now, Spain is known to have a very robust underground economy, amounting to about 29% of its GDP.
The austerity has taken money out of the economies. It's led to the rising of taxes and the cutting of public expenditure. There's an increasingly high number of people who are having to work in the black market because the cost of living goes up and living standards go down as a result of the austerity.
Analysts have related the rise of this phenomenon to crises and its cycles, and governments in turn are trying to play catch-up. Some have tried to limit the circulation of 500 and 200 euro notes or encourage the use of electronic payments, but unless the official economy significantly rises from the doldrums, the effects